All right. It looks like we are live. We're here at the PILMMA Super Summit. If you've been tuning in, going live throughout the day, today, tomorrow, and just looking to bring guests on, vendors, friends of mine, lawyers, just sharing what we're learning here, and just sharing some good tips as we go. So I got a good friend of mine here, Raquel Gomes. She's she's been on the podcast. She's been in my mastermind.
Yep.
She's actually part of the group at the mastermind.
Yeah, it's a great group.
Yeah, and she's speaking here at the summit.
Yeah.
And so I want to have her tell us a little bit about what she's talking about, share some of those tips, and with you all. So if you're not here at the summit, you can get a little taste of what she has to share, and hopefully something that can help you in your business, whether it's a law firm or any kind of business. So welcome to the show.
Thank you. So my presentation tomorrow is about redefining success when doing it all stops working, because the majority of law firm owners are in the weeds of their business daily. Being a law firm owner doesn't automatically make you a true CEO. So my presentation is really about how success, the meaning of success, has changed throughout my life so much, right? And what success means to me now is so different than what success meant to me even when I started Staffy about 10 plus years ago, almost 11 years ago. And I go through that in my presentation. I share, my personal story and how success has changed to me across the years. And then I like to make the audience reflect about their definition of success. What did it look like when they first started their law firm? What does success mean for them then? And fast forward to now, is that version still the same or is it different? Did you start your law firm to achieve financial freedom, time freedom, to impact lives of people around you? Maybe all of it. And, how does it look like now? Or did you...
Probably a lot different.
Probably a lot different. And did you, a lot of the times, our businesses grow and they consume you, they start owning us, right?
Yeah.
That happens really, really often.
Yeah.
And I see it with a lot of our law firm clients. And that happened to me at some point too with Staffy.
Well, to back it up, also, if you go to getstaffy.com, that's STAFI. It's in the show notes and down here on the bottom of the screen. But
thank you.
To check out her company. And I wanted to kind of back up too, because for those listening, tell us a little bit of what you've grown. I mean, how many employees do you have at Staffy?
So we currently work with 430 law firms across the United States. We have over 500 people assigned. All of our staff is in Latin America.
Yep.
They are dedicated to the law firms exclusively. We have over 500 people assigned internally at Staffy to make sure that we're delivering very good, high quality service. We have 100 people.
Yeah.
Right now.
So just kind of setting the tone, like that's, at Array, I think we're our archivist is about 65 people, which is, taking a long time to get to.
Yeah.
And so Raquel's sharing, but she's also created and built a very successful business, which I think, for me, that carries weight.
Yeah, of course.
It's not just a vendor that's popped up out of nowhere that hasn't done it for themselves.
Right.
So.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And a lot of my speech is based on my own experience and helping clients as well and seeing what they go through. Because in the end, we're all entrepreneurs and we're all business owners. And we are faced with the same challenges, that regardless if it's in law, you're a law firm owner, it's a business. A law firm is a business and should be run as such, right?
100%.
So
that's why I started the podcast.
I know.
the whole premise of it. So, all right. So let's go back to the talk. So, and you have to run your law firm like a business. You have to bring in good people.
Gosh.
And I think you have
essential.
but you have to give those people a path, training.
Oh yeah.
If not, they'll kind of consume you because they're asking questions and they don't have a plan.
Right.
And then you're trying to, well, I got to give them something to do today. So you're just making stuff up. Like I see people do that a lot. Business owners, they hire someone and then it's a burden on them.
Right.
But it's staffy, and I'm sure some of the things you'll talk about in your talk is how to do it.
How to do it
Properly.
successfully.
Exactly.
Yeah, there is a formula to building a top performing team that you have to follow to a T. And tomorrow I'm going to give that formula. What exactly takes to build a high performing team? Because a good team is every successful business. People are the engine behind every successful business, right? If you don't have a good team and people that you can rely and delegate to, then you don't have a business, you have a job, right?
100%. I mean, my team is
5 people, so you know that well. And it took us years to perfect this formula, right? And I'm very proud of where we are right now, because we are, from having worked with hundreds and hundreds of law firms, have perfected the formula. We are at a very good point right now. And obviously you can choose to do this in-house, but in order to do it well, it's going to take you a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of money. And tomorrow I'm going to guide you step by step and how it is. If you want to take that on and do it yourself, you're going to be able to walk from my presentation.
I love that.
Knowing how to do that, and then you evaluate is it worth your time? Because the truth that is very expensive to hire, if you do it well, like you said, so many people don't do it well. They hire someone, you don't even know if you're hiring the right person. They lack defining the role.
Well, yeah,
First
just
of all,
part of
defining the
part
role
of the right person
is huge.
That's a huge
Right.
part.
And then defining, is that the right person? If you think about how many business owners, they hire someone based on only interviews, 1 or 2 interviews. And then, oh my God, that person, they interviewed so well, it really clicked. They later on suck at the job.
It's a sales pitch. They're
suck at the
trying
job.
to look good.
Right. Exactly. They're their best behavior.
Yeah.
And then on the other hand, there's people who interview terribly, but they would be really good producers.
Yeah.
So you have to.
And then there's, okay, yeah, that's just a piece of it. But then there's, let's say you hire an A player, and you don't have a training plan for them. You don't have what next steps look like for them to increase or move up.
You don't have
you're
a
not
set
available for them.
You're not available because you're too busy.
So then they are like, this is not a kind of workplace that I want to be at.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then turnover happens. Like 1 in 3 people, they quit their job within the first 6 months due to poor onboarding.
Yeah.
And the majority of law firms, they don't have a set onboarding. They think that people would just simply figure it out on their own, and they never do.
And I also think a lot of companies are like, they should just be happy we give them a job, and like, hey,
figure it out.
It's just not a good long-term strategy. So you want good people that can take stuff off your plate, that are smarter than you, or that they're experts at whatever they've been brought in to do, because that's what they want to do. That's what they're good at.
Absolutely.
And then if you want to grow your company, that's you bring them in and you let them do their thing and give them what they need to be successful.
Yeah.
But there's a lot. Her process, I've seen it. It's a lot. Like, no one's going to recreate that in-house, in my opinion, the way that they have.
It's really robust.
She's going to tell you on her talk. She presented it at my mastermind as well.
Yeah.
But replicating that, it's going to be a lot.
You have to have a whole team that's all these.
Yeah.
Because if you're doing that on your own, the math is, if you're doing well done in-house without taking into account the onboarding piece, okay, just the hiring, it will take between 7 to 8 weeks, about 40 to 60 hours of your time. And that's assuming that you get it right the first time. You hired the right person. If not, you're back to square zero. So imagine you're running a law firm, you're a lawyer, and you're doing that yourself. It just makes no sense.
And plus, you want to scale that. So to say you needed, from one intake person, I'm just using that role, intake to 5 or 6.
Right. And you want to be able to hire quickly.
Yeah.
You want them to be all vetted beforehand, before they come to you to interview. Just wanted to ideally, okay, yes, let's move forward,
Yeah. And so,
you want to be meeting them just to see if they're a cultural fit, not to do all of the stuff that go behind the scenes. That's a lot.
Yeah. And that's a whole other conversation. But it's like, we're so big on core values and cultural fit. Has to be 100% perfect fit, or we're not going to have them. What?
Right.
You also first have all that in place. Like, do you have core values? Do you live by them, or is it just words on a wall somewhere or on your website? But there's so many things you really have to get right in a business to get the people part right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't just be, well, we don't need core values. We don't need this. We don't need that. We don't care. It all adds up. You have to focus on those areas.
Yeah.
If you want people to actually want to be there,
Right. To
long
work for your
term.
company.
You know what I
Right.
mean? They need to have mental ownership. They don't have equity. They have mental ownership where they're invested in your company.
Yeah. You know that going back to the having a organized set onboarding process is so important. You have no idea how many law firms I worked with, they lost really good talent because good talent
Right in the
and
beginning.
professional talent, they're like, what is this? This is a mess. They don't want to work there, you know?
Well, it's, just like if, say, a law firm hired me to do marketing in my company,
Yeah.
and we screwed up the whole onboarding process. We couldn't get anything right. We didn't have access to stuff, or we just forgot you even were a client or whatever.
Yeah.
You'd fire us immediately because
Absolutely.
you'd be like, well, this is how they work.
Yeah.
I don't want to be part of this.
Yeah.
Why would you not treat your people this? Like,
Right.
they're looking at you as, okay, I made a decision instead of going with these other jobs, go here.
Right. Yeah.
And
They
so,
chose.
just like you onboard a client. So if you're a law firm, you really have a client experience because you want to take care of the client. So you have to have the same thing for employees.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
And I don't think most people kind of think about that. And we've done in the past, like we do a anonymous, like, NPS score for our team can score us. And we also do, like, if we're like onboard somebody, we want their feedback.
Of course.
How did it go? Can we done
Yeah.
better? Blah, blah, blah. Did we miss something? And sometimes there's mess ups or mistakes, but you're talking about people's, our kids, like health insurance, they got family, kids, like you can't mess up those things.
Yeah.
So yeah, having a process, I know it's taken us a long time to build it out. And if I was trying to scale a department, like a law firm, that's just a lot of work and a lot of things to put in place.
It is. Yeah. Building and maintaining a business is not easy. Definitely not.
Yeah. And, and so Raquel's going to share on her talk, like, how you can do it yourself. And there's firms that do it themselves, do it in house, whatever. But I think, what her programs that she put together now, I won't say this about a lot of people, but it takes all that off your plate. Where you can just bring on a person. And I got a client, and a good friend of mine that has Staffy, Park Ziegler, and they have 6 to 8 of your folks, and
8
they
people.
started with a couple.
Yeah.
And they
started with
scaled
one.
that out.
Yeah.
So I think it's a great program and definitely worth taking a look. So any other major takeaways from the talk that you got coming up that you could share?
I think the way to look into, I think it's really important as a law firm owner to look into where your time is going, like auditing your day, and write down tasks that you'd like to remove from your plate, and write down the tasks that you're spending your time with. And then after, you can reflect, okay, does these tasks require me as the owner, as the CEO to do? Because as a rule of thumb, if you can train someone else to do a task, that task should be delegated. Yeah, so I think that's a key takeaway.
Yeah, I mean, everyone struggles with that, and I think I would do that audit. So I've found this, not just me, but my partners or my other team members, like doing that audit is amazing because you're like, man, why am I even doing this stuff?
Right.
But also, over time, things will sneak back in again. So you might be like, oh, I delegated. I'm awesome delegating. And then
you go back to it.
You go 6 months later and you're like, wait, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
And then, so it's something you got to keep on top of, because
it is.
I think as an owner or a type personality or someone who's used to taking charge, that's exactly what you do. You're like, I'm going to do that myself.
Yeah.
And then you start stacking it back up again.
Yeah, that's true.
And then you got to delegate again.
Yeah. And I think it's especially important. Like, we all have our zone of genius, right? The things that we're naturally good at and that we thrive at doing them. And the catch is, like, we shouldn't be doing everything that is in our zone of genius either. you know, like sales, for example, something that I was always a natural at selling.
Yeah.
And it was the hardest part of my business to let go. Even after I had a fully trained team for like a full year, like
Yeah, yeah.
they would just watch me sell.
Yeah.
And
Get out
that
weed
was
and you're like,
stupid.
oh, I'm going to
That
take
was-
that myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the moment I decided to let that go, actually, my company has tripled in revenue. So it's really important.
I love
You know,
that.
I do it based on my own experience. I know how important it is to let go of things and to focus on higher impact, revenue generating things that bring you pleasure too, of course.
Yeah. There was a great talk earlier. It was an 8-figure firm and literally talking exactly how, you, as a founder, the owner, whatever you are, your role has to change. And
Yeah,
you have to
has to evolve.
You have to evolve and be more focused on vision, strategy, and things like that to take the business to the next level.
Yeah.
And we all, you know, most people, you're going to be the best at a lot of the things because you care more.
Yeah.
But you have to just get out of the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No one is gonna do as incredibly as you do. Never. But that's okay. Because if you're ever looking for that type of perfection, then you're never gonna truly scale.
Yeah. And then their team's going to be like, oh, Raquel's going to do it,
Yeah.
you know, because she does it every time. And
Yeah.
so they start to pull back.
Yeah.
And then they're not getting creative because they're like, well,
Yeah.
the owner's just going to step in and
Yeah.
take it over.
They lose confidence too.
Yeah. And then there's not really a career path for them in their mind because they're like, well, I'm limited.
Yeah.
I can't do what I really want to do.
Yeah.
So, well, I appreciate you coming to share.
Yeah.
Looking forward to your talk. If you're listening and you're live right now, what time is your talk?
Tomorrow 9 a.m.
Tomorrow 9 a.m. with a cup of coffee and Raquel.
Yes.
So, well, Raquel, I'll
Sounds
see you
good.
a lot soon. Me and Raquel hang out all the time.
Yeah.
So you'll see her back on the podcast, I'm sure, soon. And go check out Staffy. And we'll see you here at the summit or see you on another episode soon.
Yeah. Thank you.
See ya.